Welcome back to another show of Breaking Through with Lisa Nichols, and I'm your host, Lisa Nichols. And today I have one of my favorite people on the planet, Thania Trieu. Oh my God, I'm so excited to talk to you. Tell me a little bit about your background and what led you to starting your business.
You know, Lisa, growing up, I've always felt that there was this whisper of greatness inside of me. It wasn't loud, it wasn't demanding, but it was persistent. And it was that same whisper that guided my family across the ocean when we escaped Vietnam with nothing but faith. That whisper also told me that when there are days when I hid behind those masks and that I was afraid to speak, that there was more in me that I was meant to lead. And for a while I ignored that whisper, but when I finally listened to it, and I started to own my worth, I started to show up with certainty and confidence.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that whisper became a roar. And that roar got me here today with you.
I love it. I love it. This kind of leads me to my next question. Let's talk about your mission and what led you and how you decided to serve your clients, serve your customers, serve the people that you serve. Like, let's talk about your mission.
You know, one day my son asked me a question. Mommy, have you seen a monster in the closet? At that moment, I realized that my children were watching me. And if I lived in fear, if I dim my light, then I teach them fear. And that's not the woman I want to be, nor the parent I wanted to be. Something changed in me that day that I said, Thania, you have to start to live with courage so you can teach your kids courage.
Right.
And you need to step into your superhero powers. Because there's something about this. When you help someone remember their worth and they start showing up, they're going to realize that they have been the superhero. They've been waiting all along.
Yeah.
That truth, it allows them a voice. It gives them something much greater to move. And so that's what got me started. And because I wanted better for my kids, it became my mission.
Yeah.
It became my mission to start my company called True Learning Program, where I help women and teen really own their voice, their authenticity. And through a nonprofit that I just started recently called Let Her Shine, I empower women to shine their lights because when a woman shines, generation rises.
I agree. That's so wonderful. You clearly have so much passion. I love your passion. And I love your why. You know, when your why is deep enough, it helps you climb over difficult challenges. So tell me, what was one of the biggest challenges in getting your company started? You are not new to adversity. You're not new to climbing over difficult moments. Tell me one of the biggest challenges to getting your dream off the ground.
So Lisa, before I answer that question, I want to tell you the deeper why. So my why is because of my 3 boys, but there's something that people don't know, that I had desperately desired for a girl that I never had. And you see, the universe, I think, didn't bless me with a girl because the universe blessed me with a platform of young women who could be like my daughters to go out there to impact and inspire. So to answer your question, the challenges that we're faced as many entrepreneurs today, very similar. Limiting resources, lack of support, financial struggles, and then not having enough hours in a day. And
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. And then you don't have a blueprint. And then on top of that, I had this vision. I had this calling, but I didn't have a roadmap. I knew the what, but I didn't know the how. And that journey can be incredibly lonely sometimes because
Well, let me replay that. You knew the what, but you didn't know the how. I want to say that again because I think so many people can relate to that statement. You knew what you wanted to create.
I did, because it came from the heart. It came from the soul.
But you didn't have the map.
I didn't have the map. And that's when I said, I need to surround myself with incredible people like you and a community of like-minded, heart-centered people who said, Iyana, you are not alone, and that I don't have to ride that roller coaster alone. And ever since then, you know, one of the breakthrough moments, you know where it happened?
I was just about to ask you. It's like you're reading my mind. I was going to ask you, what was a big breakthrough moment for you in business? Like, all of those things were hard. Not enough resources, not enough time, not enough support, not enough like-minded people initially. You had to find that tribe. And then, what was a big breakthrough moment for you in business?
Oh, I had quite a few breakthrough, but the moment I like to share with you was at your breakthrough retreat in Cancun.
At my breakthrough retreat, you had one of your biggest breakthroughs.
Yes,
Well, that
yes.
means it's working. Amen.
Yes, it was a hurdle perfection. And that kept me stuck.
It was wanting everything
Yes,
to be
perfect.
perfect.
And it's never ever going to be perfect.
Right.
And my mentor told me this, Thania, you are like a performer behind closed curtains and no one can see you. That was such a truth. And the moment that I realized that, I started to lift the curtains. I started to step on the stages. And you know what? I started to, yes. And I started to just own my light because I was no longer hiding. And my business grew. And
Now, was that
opportunities
because
came.
you stopped trying to be perfect and you just started to shine?
Because I realized the mission was much bigger than me. And by helping others step into their light, sharing their gifts, that I will also help many others. And it wasn't about me. It was about the bigger mission that we've been called to.
So tell me, I think you've answered it in some cases, but I gotta ask, what sets you apart from other service providers in your industry that do things a bit similar?
Well, that's a great question. And I'm sure you get asked this all the time.
I do.
And Lisa, it's really hard to really explain what is it that you do and what is it that I do, because it's something that people experience when they're with you as they're with me. But I believe what sets me apart is my unique combination and my signature sauce.
I love it. I love a good signature sauce.
Yes, and as a creative, I've been in the beauty industry for decades. I've been in the corporate world, and now having immersed myself in transformational training, I have this unique blend. And because of this blend, I have the ability to bridge the gap between inner and outer beauty and taking my creativity into strategy, but also soul work and weaving storytelling into healing.
Okay, wait. You just gave me a lot. That is a unique blend. So
Yes.
there's inner beauty,
Yes.
there's outer beauty,
Yes.
there's your corporate strategist in you,
Yes.
and then there's the soul work that you do. And you bring all of this to one client.
I do. I call that the icing on top of being a life transformational coach, because here's the thing, when you can bridge that gap,
Yes.
people feel safe in my presence. They feel seen and comfortable, and within minutes, I'm able to shift them from being nervous to showing up confidently, comfortably, authentically, because what I'm trying to capture in a safe space
Yes.
is their essence, is their energy. Because today, through social media, we have to be able to speak through the screen that people feel you, not just see you, but experience you.
Well, I can feel you all over the place. Like you just have this, every time I'm in your presence, you just have this engaging, enrolling energy. So I second everything you just said. Tell me a little bit of feedback that you've gotten or some feedback that you've received from some of your clients in terms of how have you helped them to make their lives easier?
Everybody is so afraid and they live in fear and doubt. And that holds us back. And everybody has a story that only they can share in a way that they've experienced it. But how do they get that story out? You know, we're afraid of fear, judgment, and all these masks. But when you create that safe space, which you have shared with so many, they don't hesitate to show up. And they don't hesitate to really break down in a way that they get to share their story, that it brings such light. And this is why I say, within minutes, people actually feel so comfortable that they get to tell their story, which they struggle because they're so worried of judgment.
So you help your clients, and the feedback you've gotten is that you've helped me to share my story.
Yes.
And I love that. I love that feedback. And just if you gave me one nugget of advice that you would give your clients to have a breakthrough. What, I know you got many nuggets. I know you got tons. I've been with you. What's a piece of advice that you would give your clients to have a breakthrough?
If I take you to this moment where I had a near-death experience while scuba diving. That moment, I broke my seal, and no one was around to help me. My mask started to fog up, and panic set in, and suddenly I couldn't breathe. I heard these words, "Thania, you only have minutes here before this is your last breath." And I looked up and I saw this light coming through, and this whisper inside me said, "Swim towards that light." I didn't know if I was going to make it, and I did. And that one breath, that single breath, gave me life till today. And that moment, I said, I've carried with me, what am I doing with every breath that I take? Because I realized that in that breath is a gift. And within that is the light of life. And then I did a eulogy with Vision Lakiani of Mind Valley and in front of a group of people. I said these words, "Here lies the body of Thania Trieu." You're seeing me like this, like the tears came even worse. I couldn't control it because what I started to realize was that I started this mission, and right here, right now, I just died. I hadn't done anything, and I would have left my calling unfulfilled. That moment woke me up to say, stop waiting, take action, to do the things that you've been called to do. And then a few days later in Cappadocia, I stayed in a cave hotel. I toured underground cave, raised caved, and in this dark cave, I saw the word Atman. And I learned that Atman meant the universal divine true self-soul that will never be dim. And that moment, I took that to be my truth and my mission. Thania, get out of the dark cave of fear. Step into your light and help others do the same. So my question is, don't wait until life forces you to choose death, to choose life. Change your story. Lead with your light. Lead with your authentic self.
Lead with your light. Lead with your authentic self. Gosh, so many nuggets. Like, I feel like that was the best piece of several components of advice. And I love that you swam toward the light and that you're here to share that light with us. Tell me, for those individuals who are listening, that person that's listening saying, I want that kind of certainty. I want to move from fear to courageousness. I want to move into my purpose. I want to use my breath for something great. How can they find you and learn more about working with you?
So the best way to find me is really through social media. Find me under my name as Thania Trieu or through my website as Thania.
And that's Trieu, Trieu.
Yes, and Thania, Thania.
All right, so Thania Trieu, they'll see the name listed here. And that's on Instagram.
Yes, and also through my website, ThaniaTrieu.com.
ThaniaTrieu.com. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm so excited that the world has you. There's so many lights that are waiting to be unleashed. And they need someone who's safe like you and who's encouraging like you. So I'm super excited. And thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for allowing me to share you with the world in this really special way. I'm Lisa Nichols, and this has been another episode of Breaking Through with Lisa Nichols. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.